Welcome to Just a Minute. Hello, my name is Nicholas Parsons, and as the minute fades away, it's my huge pleasure to welcome you to this special edition of Just a Minute from the BBC Television Centre. This year marks the 45th anniversary of Just a Minute, and to celebrate over 4.5 decades of radio success, they've finally decided to let us deviate our way onto your television screens. So, without further ado, please welcome to the show the 4 talented performers who are going to join me. And they are seated on my right, Paul Merton and Sue Perkins, and seated on my left, Graham Norton and Phill Jupitus. Please welcome all 4 of them. The rules are impossibly simple until you try to play the game, and then you find that they're possibly simply impossible. Oh, thank you. I didn't think it was as funny as that, but you did. I will ask each player in turn to speak on the subject that I give them, and they will try and do that without hesitation, repetition, or deviation. At any time, one of the other 3 can challenge, and if I uphold that challenge, they gain a point. And if not, the person speaking gains a point and continues with the subject. Until the whistle goes, and that tells us that 60 seconds have elapsed. And by the way, they can repeat the subject on the card. Phill, would you take the first subject? The Bermuda Triangle. You have 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
The Bermuda Triangle is an area of sea that has caused the disappearance of many travellers, be they in boats, ships, trawlers, dinghies, aeroplanes, balloons, schooners, dirigibles, gliders, or other methods of transport. Its mysteries have puzzled travellers for Damn you!
Sue, you travelled.
Yeah, a repeat of travellers.
Yes, there were travellers before, but what a lovely list he did there without pausing there. Sue, you have a correct challenge. You have 36 seconds. The Bermuda Triangle, and you start now.
The Bermuda Triangle is not, as one might think, the special green one you get in the assortment chocolate box at Christmas, although you can equally get lost in its charms. It is, as Phill has so perfectly described, an area of ocean mysterious, where those who venture far into its clutches disappear without trace. Some would say a conspiracy theory. I am not cognizant of such things. I imagine there's a tectonic plate that's shifted, stuff goes into it, but I never studied geology. Could it be something to do with the moon casting its...
So she was speaking as a whistle when gained that extra point, and she's taken the lead. She's ahead of everybody else. Graham, we'd like you to begin the next round.
Yes.
The subject... Oh, this is interesting. A new rule for Just a Minute. Give you a second or two to think about that, and then talk on the subject.
It won't help.
60 seconds, starting now.
A new rule for Just a Minute, which I think would be interesting and fun and perhaps move the game on to a new level, a sort of 21st century yee-haw extravaganza of entertainment on both the radio and, of course, here on television. Let me get to it. Sorry to keep you. So, I just think that...
Sue, you challenge first.
It was running out of steam, but also there was repetition of new.
Yes, you did say new.
That's on the card.
A new rule.
It is on the card, you're right. I withdraw my challenge, Graham. I'm an idiot.
So, incorrect challenge.
I'm a buffoon.
And a new rule for Just a Minute is still with you, Graham, and you have 37 seconds, starting now.
I couldn't be happier to have this subject back. Let me tell you about a new rule for...
Sue, challenge again.
Repeat of let me tell you.
Yes, let me tell you.
Really?
Yes, you said it before. Let me tell you.
Oh, well, never mind.
Never mind. Sue, a correct challenge. A new rule for Just a Minute. 33 seconds, starting now.
I think that every time a panellist hesitates, deviates or repeats, Nicholas should remove an item of clothing. That would spice things up no end.
No.
Paul, we liked your interruption and we give you a bonus point for that. But what is your challenge within the rules of Just a Minute?
I think something I had to be stopped. I have no challenge.
Have no challenge. Well, you've got your bonus point because they enjoyed your interruption, but Sue was interrupted,
yes.
So she keeps the subject. A new rule for Just a Minute, and there are 24 seconds starting now.
Come on now, who here wouldn't enjoy the sight of Nicholas loosening his tie?
No. Repetition of Nicholas.
Yes, that's right.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good, very good. You've played the game before, haven't you? Right, so, Paul, you've got in on this subject with 22 seconds to go. A new rule for Just a Minute, starting now.
Every contestant has to speak backwards. Idea, terrible, a what? That would be how it would work. But you see, it's actually very difficult to even play the game by the normal rules of deviation, hesitation, repetition. What point would there be if you said you could no longer use vowels or consonants consecutively one after the other? It would be madness.
So Paul Merton was then speaking as the whistle went, gained that extra point for doing so, and he's now moved forward, and Sue is out in the lead. Sue, it's actually your turn to begin. Oh. Unwanted Presents. It's a good subject. 60 seconds, Sue, starting now.
I've always found Anne Widdecombe to be an unwanted presence. However, I don't believe that's what's on the card. We are, of course, referring to the things you get on your birthday. Maybe it's a jumper, cardigan, a book, or, as I once received on my 8th birthday, an arch...
Phil, you
Couple of birthdays.
Yes. Your 2 birthdays. Right. Phil, well listened. You have a correct challenge. You have 45 seconds still. Unwanted Presents. And you start now.
A 78 record player was given to me by my mother and father one Christmas, which did not meet my audio needs one jot. That particular year, I stood looking down at it as it played the discs to my
Sue, challenge.
bit of hesitation.
I think we call that hesitation. Yes, Sue, another point to you. And 30 seconds still on Unwanted Presents, starting now.
The rule is keep the unwanted gift in a drawer, cupboard or box. Don't do as I did and immediately give it to a charity shop, whereupon this particular artefact was displayed in the window, and the friend who'd given me the gift saw it and hell broke out.
Graham, challenge.
Repetition of gift.
Yes, you mentioned the gift before.
I did.
So, Graham, well listened. You've got him with 17 seconds on Unwanted Presents, and your time starts now.
It was Christmas morning. Ooh, I was excited. And I got up and I ran downstairs because I'd asked for all sorts of things. What I got, ladies and gentlemen, I do not lie, it was a ginger-haired ventriloquist dummy called Finnegan. Thank you very much, Santa, for that.
So, Graham not only was speaking as a whistle went, but timed it so the payoff to his story came right on the whistle. Paul, it's your turn to begin. Oh, another delightful geographical question. The Angel of the North. Tell us something about that subject in this game, starting now.
The Archangel Gabriel appeared in front of Mary and said, "Hey up, love, guess what? You're pregnant. It's going to be a great Christmas. Just as you found it, he's going to be the Son of God. It's going to be great. Yeah, fantastic." And that would be my impression of the Angel of the North. Of course, there is also this magnificent sculpture made by Anthony Gormley, I believe, the sculptor, and it's there. Sculpture and sculptor. I
Yes,
think
that's all right. Good challenge. So an incorrect challenge, Paul. You keep the subject, the Angel of the North. 40 seconds, starting now.
As I stared into the mouth of the ravenous beast, I could see in the background an angel magnetically pointing north. This was the golden dream of my childhood, to have an angel looking after me and saying, "I am your keepsake, your partner through life. Do not think of me as a superstitious, ethereal creature."
Is there a nurse in the building?
Did I go again?
Yeah, you went again. You missed.
I didn't start talking about the angel.
Yeah, you did.
So what was your challenge within the rules of Just a Minute?
Yeah.
I think deviation from sanity.
Oh, you can be as insane as you like on Just a Minute.
Yeah,
As long as you
exactly.
keep going. So, Paul, an incorrect challenge. Another point to you. You still have the subject. The Angel of the North. 17 seconds, starting now.
If you look at a map of the London Underground, you'll see that the Angel station is on the Northern Line, and indeed it is not far away from that other magnificent... Oh, I don't know what to say.
Sue, challenge.
Hesitation.
Yes.
And we call that hesitation. Sue, 9 seconds are still available. The Angel of the North, starting now.
Gateshead's proud guardian sits with huge great wings and took £1 million.
Phil, challenge.
The angel stands, doesn't sit.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, I know, yeah. The Angel of the South is one that squats, isn't it?
Yeah.
Phil, you had a correct challenge. You have another point, of course. The Angel of the North, 5 seconds, starting now.
Sitting atop the hill. Ow, I did it!
So we give Phil a bonus point for overacting. So you have a correct challenge.
Thank you.
And you've cleverly got in with 3 seconds to go.
Wow.
You haven't won any friends, but you've got the subject.
Tough gig.
And the Angel of the North with you, Sue, starting now.
Those arms stretched bend to the...
Paul, challenge.
Did we not have arms before?
Yes.
They're not arms.
Well, they're sort of arms.
They're wings.
They are
Big,
wings.
flappy angel wings.
So, Paul, correct challenge. 5 seconds to go on... No! 1 second to go. And you have the Angel of the North starting now.
Angel of the North, how wonderful you are!
So, at the end of that round, Sue Perkins is in the lead, and the other three are following with 1 point separating them. And Sue, we're back with you to begin. And the subject is my idea for Dragon's Den. I don't know whether you have a serious one or not, but it doesn't matter. Talk on it in this game, starting now.
I have patented Bark Be Gone, the special mouth silencer for irritating dogs. If you have a terrier, Dachshund, Spinoni, Labrador, Spitz, anything that really has a vocal aspect to it, simply put on the vocal alteration system.
Phil.
Couple of vocals.
A couple of vocals, yes. So, Phil, well, listen, you have the subject. My idea for Dragon's Den. 40 seconds, starting now.
My idea for Dragon's Den is, once I've received my instructions from the Trollmaster, is to approach the den very, very stealthily.
Graham, you spotted it first.
Two berries.
Too very. It's one of the tricks of just a minute, which they can easily fall into. But, Graham, you picked it up first, and you have 33 seconds to tell us something about my idea for Dragon's Den, starting now.
My idea for Dragon's Den is just to shut it down. I find it quite irritating, sitting there smug with their money on a table. I don't think it's appropriate. But look at this, they're loving it. They hate the show. Who knew? I thought it was a hit. But no, they loathe it with a passion. Am I still speaking?
No, Paul has challenged you, but you were going so well the audience didn't hear it.
Well, there was a hesitation there.
There was a hesitation
Yes,
in the middle of it, yes.
Stop.
So, Paul, you have the subject, my idea for Dragon's Den. 15 seconds available, starting now.
I do watch the programme. Hillary's the new dragon in the den. I like it, love, but I don't think I can invest. I find that's absolutely charming, the way that these entrepreneurs address these people who have come in with magnificent inventions, or so they think, perhaps a lifelong dream.
So Paul Merton was then speaking as a whistle when gained that extra point, and he's moved forward. He's now equal with Sue Perkins in the lead, closely followed by Graham Norton, 1 point behind, and then 2 or 3 behind him, Phill Jupitus. It's very close. It's very exciting, and you couldn't care less, could you? Graham, it's your turn to begin. Name dropping, that's a good subject. 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
Name dropping is rather gauche and rude, I feel. As I was saying to Madonna only the other day while we were chatting at Rihanna's house, who does put on a nice spread. I was surprised. She doesn't look like she eats, but piles of food. Now, the big thing about...
Phil, new challenge.
Bit of a hesitation.
Oh, well, hesitation.
There's a lot of now, well, duh.
Yeah.
Phil,
All words.
Phil, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. If I can redress the balance later on, I will do so. But you have the benefit of the doubt. You have an incorrect challenge. You have name dropping. 41 seconds starting now.
I do know someone who does a lot of name dropping, and I've just realised I can't describe it without repetition because...
Sue, challenge.
Predictive repetition. He's basically said he's going to repeat it.
Psychic challenge.
Yeah.
No. Well, not that psychic. I said I was going to do it.
So, an incorrect challenge. Graham, you've still got the subject. Name dropping. 55 seconds starting now.
So, for instance, they would say, Sarah, Jessica Parker, went up to Carrie, Fisher.
And Sue, you've gone in.
He's not hesitated.
That
Yes,
was definitely hesitation. Right, 25 seconds available for you. Sue, on name dropping starting now.
When I met Rihanna, she was furious that Graham had slightly despised her snacks because...
Phil, challenge.
Slightly despised. A little bit of a
She's got a
stumbling.
speech impediment too, and she will be furious. Hell hath no fury like a woman with a speech impediment.
I tell you what I'm going to do. I said if I got a chance to redress the balance and give you the benefit of the doubt, I'm giving it to you now, Phill Jupitus.
You are nothing if not steeped in justice, Nicholas Parsons.
No, just fair justice, not stinking justice.
No, Steve.
Steve.
Oh, Steve.
Steve Nicholas.
As if I would address you like some common Mexican bandido, Nicholas. I don't need your stinking justice.
I'm not a bandido. You have the subject, Phil. Name dropping, 20 seconds starting now.
Name dropping is something which people do in order to make themselves look big to people they meet in the street.
Sue, challenge.
Repetition of people.
Yes, people do,
Yes.
in order to make them feel they meet in the street. Sue, well listened, and you have 15 seconds still. Name dropping starting now.
If you feel shy, awkward, or insecure, it sometimes beholds you to mention the name of somebody socially more powerful or important. I've done this a few times, and yet, in truth, I don't really know anybody sufficiently grandiose to drop with any degree of certainty.
Hello.
Forgive me.
So
I can't believe you said
I
that.
feel bad. I just don't know him well enough. Not until the after-show party.
What is your challenge?
Oh, that deviation from the reality of knowing you. You open doors, Nicholas.
Yes.
He's a doorman at the local...
You do open doors,
Yeah.
the ones marked exit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Graham, you've got him with 1 second to go.
Oh.
So laughing. Oh, no, really, you're giving it to him.
Name dropping starting now.
Name dropping. Yes, I've got the subject back.
So, Graham... And Graham was speaking as the whistle went, so you gain the extra point, Graham. And you have moved... And you are now in the lead. Yes. Paul, we'd like you to begin the next round. The subject is 1967. Now, I think the reason they've chosen this subject is that is the year in which Just a Minute began on radio. 45 years ago, exactly. Didn't get any reaction at all. But anyway, that is the subject. 1967, Paul. 60 seconds starting now.
1967 was a very big year in culture. We had the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Sue?
A bit of hesitation.
A bit of hesitation,
Yeah,
yes, Sue.
Yep.
You have 54 seconds. 1967 starting now.
1967 was the summer of love, and one of the products of that psychedelic free-for-all was the panel show Just a Minute, where hippies would sit around with their bongs and bell-end flares, and they would... We can't broadcast that! I meant bell-bottom! No one's got...
Phil, what was your challenge?
I've had lots of pairs of trousers in my life, Nicholas. Some of them very comfortable.
Let me see if I agree with you. What was it then?
She said bell-end flares.
So, Phil.
Yes.
Correct challenge. You have another point. And the subject is still 1967. And your time starts now.
In 1967, I lived in the middle of Essex in a beautiful cottage where, for my 5th birthday, I received a small motorboat which I used to play with in our pond. I watched it going round and round the surface. Oh, man. I suck.
Right, so Paul, you spotted it first.
Yes, round and round.
Round and round,
Sadly.
yes. The subject is back with you because you began with it, and it's still 1967 and 27 seconds starting now.
Patrick McGoohan produced a television series, The Prisoner, which people still debate the various meanings of it even today. 1967 was a magnificent year in music. Not only did we have... Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club.
Sue!
Hesitation.
A real hesitation,
Absolutely.
yes. 17 seconds, Sue. Tell us something about 1967, starting now.
My parents were in a flat in Peckham, not enjoying some of the high fandango jinks that one might think of when you think of...
Hesitation, Mr. Parsons, sir.
I don't think she hesitated. She might have deviated with the high fandango jinx.
Then I'm out. I've got nothing.
All right, you're training a little.
Oh, no, don't patronise me. Not on television.
I never patronise. I just give out love and warmth to my players and my guests.
Always.
So, Phil, we would love hearing from you. 1967, 9 seconds, starting now.
It was a wonderful year where I would gamble around the garden with my dog and rabbit and look at them as they would frolic to and fro in the grass. Then, behind the bushes, I would...
So, Phill Jupitus has went, speaking as the whistle went, gained that extra point. He's creeping up on Paul Merton, who's one ahead of him. Oh, tea time.
Does that mark the actual official beginning of the séance?
Yeah.
When do we start holding hands and try and contact the living?
So that means that we only have time for one more round. So I need to... Oh, you are lovely. We're 4 or 5 if you are. And let me therefore give you the situation as we go into the final round. Phill Jupitus, who's doing extremely well. He is just in 4th place, so. He's only 1 point behind Paul Merton. Then is Graham Norton. And just 1 point ahead of Graham, is still in the lead, is Sue Perkins. And Phil, it's your turn to begin. The subject is the Eternal Optimist. 60 seconds.
Shall we challenge now?
Almost like giving you a bonus point for acting. So, 60 seconds starting now.
The Eternal Optimist would think that in this point of the game, just a minute, he was going to surge suddenly and capture it from his other team players. But sadly, I know that this will not happen. The Eternal Optimist is someone who would say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Or perhaps another beverage might be possible to make with that fruit. But no, there's just the one. In addition to the aforementioned fruit, you need water.
Oh, yes. So you challenge.
A repetition of fruit.
You had more fruit than you should have had. And still you listened well. You got in first. 33 seconds starting now.
Usually my glass is 3/4 empty, but for this round I shall make an exception and believe that it's possible for a great man of comedy in letters such as Phill Jupitus to buzz in when I leave this pause and gain the points he needs to come first.
And Paul challenged.
I thought Phil would be too slow. But I challenge on Phil's behalf. Hesitation.
It was
Isn't that
hesitation,
right, Phil?
definitely, yes. But you're only 1 point ahead of him, so it's neck and neck. I think you should take your challenge, which is legitimate, and you have the Eternal Optimist. 20 seconds, Paul, starting now.
I suppose being an eternal optimist is better than being an eternal pessimist. Looking at the situation and thinking maybe there is a brighter side, the other side of the... Oh, side.
Oh, yes. Sue
Couple of
challenge.
sides.
Couple of sides.
Couple of
Two
sides.
sides,
Yes,
yes.
couple of sides.
And Sue, you have 11 seconds left on the Eternal Optimist, starting now.
I still believe if I leave sufficient pause, Phil...
Phil, you were really quick there. You challenge first?
Oh,
What
I
is your
challenged
challenge?
erroneously. I don't wish to take over hosting of the show, but she said believe and leave. 2 different leaves.
And you had a correct challenge. Sue wanted you to come in. You did. You picked it up immediately. You've got the subject, the Eternal Optimist. 8 seconds, starting now.
I feel that if I keep talking about this subject of the Eternal Optimist, the points will be mine. If only I can maintain this breakneck pace of talking, then surely it will be...
Oh, I'm sorry, I withdraw my challenge. Believe you me, I'm as disappointed as you are. I don't know what I was thinking. I saw the thing there.
So,
Repetition
what is
of
your...
talking.
Yes, it did say talking.
Yeah?
Otherwise, I wouldn't have pressed the buzzer.
And you got in with half a second to go.
Thank you. I take that as praise.
But those are the rules of the game.
Were you disappointed during the 1966 World Cup final when Jeff Hurst scored with 3 seconds to go? Oh, well, look, that's not fair. He doesn't give the Germans a chance. What sort of game is this?
So, Paul, you have half a second
Yes.
on the Eternal Optimist, starting now.
Give it to Phil.
So Paul Merton, speaking as a whistle wind, gained that extra point, and therefore we have brought the show to a close. Let me give you the final score, because I did say this would be the last round. Phill Jupitus, who gave incredible value. We love having him on the show. He did finish in 4th place, but it was a very good 4th place. A very strong 4th place. And he was only 2 points behind Graham Norton, who was in a brilliant 3rd place.
Yeah.
And she...
I could have been a contender.
And he was only 1 point behind Paul Merton, who was in a magnificent 2nd place. And so the winner of today's show is Sue Perkins. Thank you. We do hope you enjoyed this edition of Just a Minute, and we will want to be with us the next time we play this amazing game. Until then, from me, Nicholas Parsons, and of course from our talented guests, Paul Merton, Sue Perkins, Graham Norton and Phill Jupitus, goodbye. Hope you'll be with us the next time we all get together and play Just a Minute!
And that's tomorrow at 6 here on BBC Two. More now, though, on Radio 4. Just a Minute is a huge hit in India, so Nicholas Parsons presents the first of 2 special programmes recorded in Mumbai now. Or stay with us for Eggheads in their new time slot of 6:30. A team from Kent take a crack at them next.